Hello humans. So I'm not using my DSLR today because apparently that doesn't work on the new Mac OS, so I'm trying to get by with the... Can you kill the bird? Alright, so the bird is gonna be a problem because he has decided to scream at me. So basically the goal today is to... what is the goal today? Last week I started working on a course platform and I got it to the point where it's starting up right now. So it's at the point where it can have content, and then you have a authentication system so you can log in. My love, can you kill him, please? So you have an authentication system that lets you log in, and then you have access to everything. Now, obviously, we don't want just anyone to be able to log into this system. You have to purchase first before you... Hey, Robin. So you have to purchase before you have access to everything. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, is connecting the Gumroad purchase experience with the authorization for access to the course. So the idea being that Gumroad's ping API is going to call a lambda on my on AWS, and that is then going to create a user on auth0 with the correct permissions for whatever you purchased. That's the basic, at least that's the idea. Where we got stuck last week was that my serverless deploys aren't working because I need to put the serverless stuff in a separate project than the front end stuff. So that's what let's make sure first that the front end starts up. So this is a Gatsby app, obviously still not, the landing page still needs work, but everything else is there. You have a login button, and if you go to a specific, let's see, I know that serverless elements is a page that exists. It asks you to log in a very sort of hacky way, so that's going to be improved. But first we're going to work on authorization. So I'm going to start by making the lambdas sub project self-contained, sort of. I tried to be smart, and I tried to put everything in the same repository. It can be in the same repository, but I tried making it be in the same folders, and that did not work. So if we check out the lambdas, we have Gumroad ping TS and types TS. So I'm going to let's keep it as lambdas. So inside lambdas, we're going to make a source directory, lambda source, and we're going to move the rmrf dist, and then we move tsconfig to lambdas, and we move everything in lambdas that is a ts to move lambdas.ts to lambdas source slash. So if we now look at lambdas, we have source and tsconfig. I'm going to move serverless YAML to lambdas as well. Then what else do we have here that is only for serverless stuff? Not much. Cool. So I can also, let's look at package.json recently opened. That's this one, serverless React Dev. We're going to have build lambda is going to run cd lambdas and tsc and cd ... so that we can run commands from the main repository. And then we have npm run lambda and cd lambdas and serverless deploy and cd ... So this is going to be like a self-contained operation now. So it's going to go into directory, build stuff, and then come back. So let's try if that, we also need to, do we need a yarn init? We can try. So let's try now running yarn. Oh, actually, let's go into tsconfig, which is now in lambdas. So out there is .dist, source root is ./source, base URL is ./, and then we have the types and stuff. So let's try running yarn build lambdas, yarn build lambda, and we'll see what happens. great. Smart. Thank you for doing that. Why macOS? Okay, so is everything back now? Cool. I am now moving and you can hear me. The music is still dead. Let's see about the music. Is the music back? Cool, music is back. And now I can turn on Sidecar again so that I'll see the chat room. Okay, there we go. Cool, sorry about that. Now let's see. I can type, that is good. So let's see now, we successfully built the lambdas. Let's see, if we go into lambdas, they now have a dist, and that dist looks reasonable. So I can run yarn lambda deploy, yarn deploy lambda, and let's see if that works. So it's running the build lambda, then it's going to cd into the lambdas directory and deploy what's there. Come on, computer. Computer, come on, just get to the other monitor. Where was I? Okay, so this could be a problem. It looks like I'm having bandwidth issues with my screen again. What is OBS saying? Let's see. Okay, OBS seems to be still chugging along. Are there people actually online? And where's my music? So I'm gonna keep trying to now use Sidecar as a Wi-Fi connection instead of being connected through USB-C. and hopefully that's gonna work. I don't know why it says that I'm offline, because I shouldn't. Oh, and now Brave crashed. Awesome. Wonderful. This is just going super swimmingly well today. Okay, Brave is dead. Let's kill Brave. Brave browser, come on. Come on, Brave. Force quit. No, and now it's restarting, so I'm pretty sure Brave is not actually gonna manage to restart itself, but at least the gumroad lambda was deployed, so that's good. Now the next step is going to be to figure out how we can get my browser back. Let's see, Brave, kill everything. Okay, no more Brave. It's not, it's trying to start. Let's try starting it directly. Come on. Why is it that technical difficulties always show up when I'm trying to live stream, not like during my normal life? Like, this is... I don't know what to do to get my browser back right now, to be honest. Because it's jumping up and down here, which means it's trying to start, but it's not actually started. And let's see, PC, PS, AUX, grep, Brave. There are none. There's a bunch of running processes, but I don't know which ones of those are the process that is trying to start my browser. God damn it, Siri, go away. Brave browser. Double click does nothing because it already thinks it's starting. So what do we do? I guess we can use Chrome. Let's see if Chrome starts up. Come on. Nope, Chrome is not starting either. There we go. Chrome managed to start up. Wonderful. Okay, so let's use Chrome for now. I really need to stop using Brave. It's just be more and more of a problem, and nothing ever works normally in Brave. Okay, so we've got my local host 8000. No, come on, 8000. Oh my god, no, I do not want to save anything. I just want to go to... What? No, I don't want to close that Nature article either. No. Okay, whatever. So localhost 8000. Let's see if it manages to open the page that's running locally. Great. Now, where was the... Fuck, why did I lose that URL? Okay, so we've got the URL for gumroad ping. And let me open the gumroad ping lambda. So this is the lambda that we've got for stuff that we get from Gumroad when we make a purchase. Let's actually store this. Git vim.gitignore. We're going to add .serverless because we don't want to commit those files. .serverless. Okay. Git status. We say git add dot. Git commit -a-m deployable gumroad ping lambda, and we run. Let's run deploy lambda again because I lost the URL. Then we go to Gumroad. Come on, Gumroad, gumroad.com. Now obviously my autocomplete is not going to work very well because I have not been using Chrome for a while, so it doesn't know any of my things. And we're going to create a new product here just for testing. New product, let's call it, it's going to be an anything else, called serverless React course for $279 was the price, actually $379, whatever. URL to send customers after purchase is going to be https serverless react.dev/thank you, like that. Next we customize it. We're gonna deal with all of that later. Right now I just need to get a product that I can use for testing with. Serverless React course, blah. Okay, save changes. Cool. And now I can go into my settings and give it this gumroad ping URL. So let's see, Swizzards, settings. Settings are opening very slowly because my computer is tired right now. And if I go into advanced, oh, let me zoom this in. You probably can't see very well. Please, if you can't see anything, oh, I'm used to looking at my camera when I address the audience. So please, if you feel like you can't see stuff, just let me know and I will zoom in, but maybe I won't. For some reason, it's not letting me zoom in. Okay, so custom domain, no, not custom domain, ping endpoint. This is going to get my stuff. So gumroad blah, update account details. And now whenever somebody purchases an item, I should be getting a request to that URL. So let's try that. We're going to get the URL. You got to publish. Okay, publish, whatever. So this is still just an experiment. Don't go there and buy stuff. Okay, we've got that. And I can go to AWS. Come on. AWS, Amazon.com. And why is this so slow? My account, as you can see, Brave is still bravely trying to start. Still not starting. Go into my account, and the reason I'm going into my AWS account is because we're going to look at the CloudWatch output for my gumroad lambda. Yes, there was a problem. Use the proper address. Come on, is LastPass not connected? Where is my LastPass? Okay, what, remove that from Chrome? Yes, remove save torrent. Why do I even have this shit? So this is what happens when you switch to a browser you don't use very often. And why is LastPass not installed here? Okay, what is this shit? Redux DevTools, that seems useful. Why is LastPass not there? Do we even have LastPass installed? Okay, let's go to lastpass.com and figure this thing out, because you know I need to be able to log in, but apparently the URL, the password I have saved in Chrome is no longer valid, and Brave is still failing to start, and probably I would need to restart my entire computer to get the Brave browser back, which is not something I want to do right now. Come on, log in, LastPass, you got this. Okay, AWS. Really, you're not gonna find AWS. How do I copy the password without showing it to you? Okay, I'm gonna hide my screen just for a bit so I can copy the password. Let's see. That worked. So update password in Chrome. There we go. Cool. Okay, now we can go into CloudWatch, and there's not going to be a gumroad log yet. If, oh god, log groups, come on. Okay, So we should have one here. Come on, gumroad ping. There we go. Serverless React Dev gumroad ping. Looks like there's no logs yet, so I'm going to. We saved it here. There we go. Send test ping to URL. Sending test ping. Your last sale data has been sent to the ping URL, which means there should now be logs here. Yes. Awesome. So we have the logs. I'm going to refresh this to get the latest logs because we should have a console log, which should be going here. So we're trying to get the event body, and the event body should have data from Gumroad. There we go. So we have an unexpected token as JSON in position 0, which means even though Gumroad says that it's going to send us JSON, it does not in fact send us JSON. So let's try console logging the entire event and go from there. So I'm going to yarn deploy lambda. Hey, today my day is very frustrating. Everything is slow, my computer barely works, and we are having trouble getting through this stream. Let's see. Yeah, OBS uses up everything. I don't know why focus. Like, why is there so much crap here? And Brave is still not managing to start, which is funny. So we're deploying this to Lambda again, and then I'm going to send another test ping and look at the logs, and we're basically going to iterate like that. It's going to be a little bit annoying at first, but once we get it, it's going to be super fun. Come on. Got the ping. Let's see, wait for CloudWatch to get this stuff. Okay, there we go. Well, Louis, that's good. At least you can hear me. So we have the event. This is now the full event, which has a bunch of headers, which is great. Headers and then request context. Ooh, request context seems useful. Resource ID, extended request ID, path, protocol, identity, great. And then body. That is not a JSON body. Okay, so let's see, Gumroad ping API. Gumroad ping API, why does it not work the way they said it would work? So Gumroad ping API. The ping comes in the form of an HTTP post request to the URL that you specify in your account settings. You can also use your blah. No, I do not want. If you're using for security reasons, we highly recommend you use an HTTPS. Yep. You can pass unique URL parameters by adding them to the Gumroad URL. So we have sale ID, sale timestamp, and all of that stuff. In each request, Gumroad sends these parameters. Oh, so it's not actually a JSON. If you're using then the same JSON along with a post message key and sale value is also sent to the parent iframe. So it does not actually give us a JSON, but it does give us a seller ID, product name, permalink, sale timestamp, sale ID, license key, currency, quantity, gift receiver. Does it give us the name of the person? There we go. Email. This is obviously a test email, which is great because in our Gumroad ping we said that we get all of this stuff, right? Gift price, custom fields, email. Okay, so instead of JSON parse body, we're going to have to parse the body as if it was a query string. Luckily, Node comes with Node does come with a query string. So query string parsing, Node query string. Let's see. I always forget how it works, but I know it exists, and that's all I need to know because then I can look it up. So Node query string decode query string parse, come on. Okay, so we're going to import query string from query string like that, or let's call it QS, and we go qs.parse of event body is our ping. Parsed URL query is missing the following properties. Why is this returning a parsed URL query, not a, what if we do as gumroad ping? Come on. Parsed URL query to type gumroad ping may be a mistake because neither type sufficiently overlaps the other. What do you mean it doesn't? What is the parsed URL query? Parsed URL query type. Come on, I just want to see the definition of the type. How do I do that? Okay, there we go. Parsed URL query, key string, and it's an interface. And my query type, come on, types, gumroad ping, that's also an interface. This should be fine. Like, TypeScript, I promise you that this is fine. Why? No, Mehmet, I do not want to use any. Any is bad. Okay, fine. Let's use any for now. What if we say as any? And then here we say gumroad ping. Will that work? Oh, that works. Okay. Yarn deploy lambda. So we're gonna deploy the lambda and then try the test ping again. And then when we get that, we're gonna start playing with the auth0 API. And the auth0 API will be for creating creating what? It's basically gonna be for creating we're gonna create auth0 users and give them certain permissions, and then when they log in with that, we're going to check those permissions to see if they have access to the course. Hey, yeah, Kiwi loves screaming in the background. He's actually quite a ways away right now, and you can still hear him. So let's see, node auth0 API. I know that exists. There we go. Node auth0, and now we go. Where's the gumroad? Gumroad thingy. Send test ping to URL. Then while CloudWatch is processing all of that, we can start looking into how we can create users with programmatically. So the management API client, the auth0 management API is meant to be used by backend servers or trusted parties performing administrative tasks. Generally speaking, anything that can be done through the auth0 dashboard and more can also be done. Why does command plus not zoom in anymore? Can be done through this API. Initialize your client. So we're gonna need a token, a management API token via the management client. So these client IDs and secrets are going to be in secure storage, which I'm going to steal from another project I have. Okay, so let's see if this parsed. Hey Louis, I'm happy that I wonder why it's running better on Twitch than it is on Node. Okay, so we have this object ping now has the seller ID, the product ID, that's good, the product name, great, permalink, awesome, product permalink, email is the person, price was 0, currency USD, quantity 1. What is restream chat? No, do not install the update right now. Sale ID, order number, sale timestamp, awesome, license key, cool. Okay, we've got that. Now we need to tell Auth0 that we have a new user to create. Now let's see. Git status, git commit -m, parsing gumroad pings. That works. Git push origin master. Oh, it's a private repository anyway. Now, how did I deal? GitHub. So now I'm gonna look at my Twilio SMS serverless integration and look. Really, I'm not even signed into GitHub. Sign in. Enter two-factor code from my phone. Let's see. Authenticator. Where are you, GitHub? There we go. It's just reloading. Okay, come on. Okay. If I'm using Amazon services, why not Cognito? Because Cognito, from everything I've seen, is very hard to use, and Auth0 is super simple to use. And also Auth0, I don't know if Cognito gives me a nice login flow and social logins and stuff like that, which I know that Auth0 does. What was I looking for here? Oh yeah. So I know there's a doorbell app, doorbell app. Go into the server part, and here I'm stealing something that I really should make as a library, but haven't yet. So source utils. I have send twiml secret. There we go. Yep. So we're going to take this and create a new secrets TS, touch lambdas source secrets.ts, secrets, come on, secrets.ts. So we are importing what? AWS from AWS SDK, import AWS from AWS. Come on, AWS SDK. Come on. Computer, what is wrong? Okay. It just doesn't wanna, if it doesn't wanna fix things. So we're gonna need, what did this say? We're gonna need a client ID, client secret, and a domain, which makes sense. So let's call it. No, we can hard code the domain. We can hard code it for now, but if this becomes a SaaS, we will not be able to do that. So we have client ID as a string, and client secret as a string. Actually, let's do client domain as well. And domain is also a string. This memo has a secret, so we can say blah access secrets manager to get Auth0 tokens, returns an object like client ID, client secret, and domain because that's how they were saved in SSM. We say auth0 tokens, and we're going to call this the auth0 API tokens. We use the AWS secrets management. We get the secret value from the secret ID. Secret string, if secret string is not in data, we say error getting secret auth0 API stuff. For more generic use, this note to self, open source and generalize. Because open sourcing this stuff will make a lot of things that I teach people a lot easier if they don't have to, you know, just do stuff. I mean, if they don't need to, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. So secret ID, JSON parse, error getting secret blah, and then we return that. So we've got this. Now I need to go into the secrets manager. Let's go into auth0. Have I ever used flow? I have never used flow, to be honest. I kind of skipped over flow, and then I went to using TypeScript. So I've been really enjoying TypeScript. And I don't know enough about flow to really comment on what it's like. Oh, why is my voice going away? How am I gonna record the rest of this course? Okay, so auth0, no, not Jamstack, blah. Auth0, are you gonna show up? Cool, my computer is very slow today. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go to, let's go to, again, AWS, Amazon.com. And this time, instead of CloudWatch, we're going to look at, what's it called? Let's go my account. And we're gonna go into the secrets manager, and I'm gonna save the secret. Oh, and the secret should actually be auth0 API tokens. It needs a better name than that. Auth0 API tokens for serverless React. Let's do that, yes. Okay, come on, go to my account management console already. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but my computer is frustratingly slow right now. It probably has something to do with these thermals that are downclocking it. I need to figure that out. So we're gonna go into Secrets Manager. Come on, Secrets Manager. Come on, Secrets Manager. And I'm going to store a new secret. And obviously I will make sure that other types of secrets, secret key value, this is where I hide my screen, isn't it? So I'm gonna, let's see, switch tenant to serverless React course. Serverless React course, come on. And yeah, Brave still hasn't opened. It's been, how long has it been? It's been 30 minutes it's been trying to open itself for. Okay, so I have here the client ID and the client secret and the domain. And this is where so to show you how it works, generally speaking, here we're going to have what's called a client ID. So client ID, we paste it in, and then we have client secret. That's the one I'm not going to show you. And then we have the domain, which is, how did this say we're using it? Domain is just auth0.com. So for the domain, we store only this part. Serverless React course. And now while I save the client secret, I'm going to hide my screen because I have had enough bad experiences with this. Oh God, why? Copy to clipboard, paste, next. Okay. Cool, you cannot see it anymore. So I can now show you my screen again. Why? So that's the name, auth0 management credentials for gumroad ping with serverless react.dev. Next, disable automatic rotation. Yes, next. Great. So that is now saved. Store, and we have here the code to get them. We're obviously not going to print this to, well, we shouldn't. So we have that, and now we can import command secrets, auth0 tokens from /secrets like that. So we have auth0 tokens, and now we're going to initialize the app or the management client. Let's make sure yarn add node auth0. Come on, computer. Yarn add auth0. Come on. God, my voice, why me? Okay, that's installing. And while that's installing, we can start typing actually. We're going to get the management client. So import management client from auth0, like that. That should work in theory, I think. It's still installing. But then we go here and we say that's our ping. Then we say const auth0 equals new management client. Come on, client. And we say const let's say secrets. Yeah, const secrets equals await auth0 tokens. Oh, come on, tokens, like that. So yeah, we have auth0 tokens. When we call those, it goes to AWS Secrets Manager, gets our stuff, and returns what we're looking for. Management client, which then is now complaining, cannot find name management client because I typoed it here. Management client from auth0, could not find the declaration. Let's say yarn add types auth0. So we now have the management client, which gets the domain as secrets.domain.auth0.com. Then we get client ID, which is secrets.client ID, and client secret, which is secrets.client secret. Wonderful. We also need scope, which is going to be make sure your client ID is allowed to request tokens from management API in auth0 dashboard. Okay. Let's make sure that that is enabled. And then it would be nice to know what kind of scope I actually need. Auth0 management API. Yes. So the API ID on our system represents permissions. Quick start. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna see what happens. So we're gonna need read users, update users, and create users, because it's going to literally create users. And what else it's going to need? Not connections, but permissions. Okay, we're gonna check that out later. I know that when you create a user, you can, you can do stuff. So how do we create a user? Create a free perm. So let's look at Auth0 management API. Auth0 management API, there's going to be instructions there for how to create a user when you have their email. I'm assuming. So let's see. Client, device grants, users grants, set API token. Come on. Search. Yay, search showed up. Create user. The idea is that we create a user on Auth0 when they purchase my course, and that user gets no, I want to create users with the API. Create users, delegate, export user data, export. No. God damn it. I'm searching the API. Why are you showing me API Explorer for the management API? Okay. Users, come on. Search, search, search. Oh, stop loading shit. Search. Users. There we go. No, not client grants. Where are users? There we go. Users. Users, create a user. Wonderful. That's what I needed. So we have show samples. Come on, show me the example code. Oh, there we go. So yeah, my computer being terrible is being a problem. So, okay. Auth0 dot create user. There we go. Create user, which accepts create user data and returns what? Let's see. Create user gets create user data and promises stuff. Create user data, connection string, extends user data. Why don't they have code samples here? That would be very useful. So I think we just need their email. Note, connection is required, but other parameters such as email and password are dependent upon the type of connection. What is connection? Auth0 node create user example. Node.js SDK quick starts. No, I want to create users. No, not login. Come on, just show me example code. Oh, but seriously, just how slow my computer is right now is frustrating as shit. Okay. Not login. User via API in function. Okay, that's a good start. Come on. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that seems like it would work. So we need to create a user that says connection is username and password. And then we have the email, which will be ping.email. And what should be their username? Let's use their email as the username as well. Password. What should the password be? We should probably just create a password for them here. So let's see, const user equals await create user. Password will be something randomly generated. And we're going to force people to go through. Okay. So let's see, email verified, blocked false, user metadata name. Did we say that the gumroad ping gives us a name? Full name. It does give us a full name. So we're gonna try that. Gumroad ping. We said name is ping.fullname. And let's just not give them a flow, or I mean, let's not give them a what's it called? A password, and force them to create a password when they're being created. User ID, connection. Okay. Get a user's role, remove roles, get a user's permissions, assign permissions to a user. That's going to be the next one. Or should we get a user first? If the user already exists, let's start slow. Okay. So now we're going to console log the user and see what happens. I'm going to deploy this code. Yarn deploy lambda. So this is going to, right now it's supposed to create a user, and then, well, right now it's just supposed to create a user and console log it to the CloudWatch logs so that we can see what kind of user object gets created. Then we need to add permissions based on what the user actually bought. And once they have those permissions, we then have to go check them in. We then have to go check those permissions in the when they authenticate on the actual course front-end app. Okay, let's see. Okay, that deployed. Okay, it says I'm still streaming at least. Cool. Now let's try running the ping again and see if a user shows up in auth0. So send test ping. It sent the test ping, which means we can go into gumroad ping this one. So that's 1442. That is right now. Error type runtime import module error. Cannot find module auth0. Why? Okay, so that's a problem. Why can't it find auth0? even though it can find AWS Lambda. ls lambdas dist. If we go into gumroad ping.js and see how it's built, it says require auth0 secrets works. I wonder how come AWS Lambda works. Oh, maybe we're not actually using it that much. Oh, because we're using that just for types. Okay, so what if, let's see, node auth0, where are you? Do we need a separate, yeah, I think we do. I do think I used npm install before deploy Gabriel, but I think the problem is that we're using, it's in the wrong part of the repository. Let's see, package JSON. So we're going to remove a bunch of stuff here. So let's see, yarn remove at types auth0 and auth0 and AWS Lambda and AWS SDK. What else can we remove? Because we're going to, we'll see what we're gonna do. We're gonna basically start a new package JSON just for the lambdas, because I think something's going wrong with having node modules one level up. Come on. All right. While that's deleting, I can go into lambdas and run yarn init, and we can say serverless react.dev lambdas version 1 description no, fine, whatever. Okay, and now here we're gonna say basically the opposite of what we had before. We're gonna have types of auth0, AWS SDK, at types of AWS SDK. What else? We need AWS Lambda and at types of AWS Lambda. And we're also gonna have auth0. Let's see. So this is all gonna install now, and then I should be able to deploy correctly. Okay. That got removed there. So this is why usually when I do projects like this, I have top level directories for this kind of stuff. Let's see now, yarn deploy lambda, and this time I think it's going to work. So because of this kind of confusion, I usually have completely separate directories, so that at the top level it just says web app and server, and then all of the server stuff goes in the server folder, and all of the web app stuff goes in the web app folder. But here I started weirdly, and now I'm paying the price. Come on, computer, you got this. So it's compiling now, I think. And now it's going to deploy, and then we're going to try the test ping again. And I'm gonna go refill my water. Come on, computer, you got this. Okay. So that's deploying. I'm still streaming, which is good. Perfect. Okay. So I'm gonna try to run the send test ping to URL again. It sent the test ping. And now, let's see, where are you? Let's see what happens. 1448. Access denied exception. Is not authorized. Aha! So I don't have access to the secrets manager because I forgot to enable that. So we're gonna go here. Where are we? Door perm. There we go. Doorbell app, and I'm gonna steal the serverless YAML permissions configuration. So the what was it? Moving the yeah, I don't know. There we go. Secrets. Come on. Come on, computer. Behave. So that goes in the provider stuff. In IAM role statements. Bam. Like that. Effect allow. No. More. Okay, there we go. Now yarn deploy again. But basically having separate node modules for the lambdas and for the front end seems to have solved the problem of not being able to import the secrets manager. So now we do this stuff. And one interesting thing that I have to make sure I do almost immediately is that we are basically testing this in production. So we don't want to run all of this code unless it's for very specific gumroad products. Because if it's not for those products, then we don't really want. Well, I'm guessing that not that many people are gonna buy stuff in the next hour or two before I lock this down, so it should be fine. Otherwise, they might get. I don't know, interesting stuff could happen. Okay. Come on, computer. 251. Fine. Come on, computer, do this thing. Yeah, I said 2 hours, right? So we have another 40 minutes or so. And I think we're gonna pull it off. It's getting very, very close. This is the main part that I have to figure out, is how to create accounts for people when they purchase and give them permissions, give those accounts permissions. Come on. Computer, you got this. Deploy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of just rambling. So if anyone wants to tell me an interesting story in the chat room, that would be amazing, because it means I will be able to ramble less. It's really not great for my voice to be rambling this much, but honestly, I feel weird having quiet on the stream. So send test ping to the URL. That got sent. I can now go into CloudWatch, look at the output, 1452. Bam. Error type, access denied. What? Client is not authorized to access stuff. You might probably want to create a client grant associated to this API. What? So original error forbidden, client credentials, client ID, secret is sanitized. Okay. Read users, update users, and create users. Okay. Is not access client grant associated to this API. Post client grants. Qua? What? Why is this so hard? Okay, let's see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, will you load client grants and stuff? Back to applications. Oh, I know what's wrong. It's because I need to create a new application. So we're going to create a machine to machine for, let's see, gumroad ping API. No. Mobile web or IoT application to use with Auth0. Universal login, users and roles. So this should have just my user. Yep, that's me. Rules, hooks, multi-factor auth, anomaly detection, APIs. Define APIs that you can consume from your authorized applications. API v2, permissions, quick start. Is it ready to be consumed without further? You can see examples in the test tab. Okay, let's try to create an application then. Create application for machine to machine, and we're gonna call this the gumroad ping. Create, select an API, Auth0 management API, and it should have access to read users, update users, create users. That's what I think I did wrong. So it needs all of that. Create connections, update connections, delete, update, rules, hooks, email provider. Is there any scope for permissions? No. Okay, authorize. There we go. And it's gonna have, it has the same client ID, I think. Settings, customized for API, Node.js. Client ID. Oh, why is this showing me the client secret? That's not great. There we go. So that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna go into my AWS Secrets Manager and I'm going to edit the value. So that means I need to hide my screen. Why my throat do this? So retrieve secret value. Yep, now I gotta edit it, and then it should work. No, wrong screen. Gumroad ping. So copy to clipboard. That one is this different, and copy this to clipboard. Come on. Bam, save. Okay, so now I can show you this again. And the really nice thing about AWS Secrets Manager is that I should now be able to run this ping. Actually, no, let's redeploy just to be safe. And we're gonna see it's going to get the correct Auth0 management secret stuff and be able to do things. Yeah, we'll see how this works. Quick start. Customized for. Okay. Cool. Let's see. Let's see if this works now. Okay, so it needs to finish deploying. And then, when it finishes deploying, we'll be able to see if it works now. Okay. Come on. I wonder if anyone's actually still there. Okay, Brave is still not working. Oh god, no. Fine, whatever. Okay, so we've got. I redeployed. I can now run send test ping to the URL. Go into CloudWatch console. Get the latest output from. No, that's not the latest. Come on. Okay, whatever. So the latest, and we should get. Ooh, bad request. The connection does not exist. What? So connection username password. Cool. Which means the authorization now works. So we now correctly have a auth0 client. Let's actually make this a const auth0 equals get auth0 client, and we get function get auth0 client, async function get auth0 client, which does this stuff, and then returns auth0. Come on. Now, we await this stuff. Now, why does create user not work? It's telling me that the username password connection does not exist. The connection does not exist. Let's see. Auth0. The connection does not exist. Why is that? Come on, computer. Hi there, I'm trying to use the management API. Initial connection needs changing to whatever your database connection name you are using here. Okay, that's interesting. That would be useful to know. Come on. Serverless React course connections database. Username password authentication is what it's called. Cool. So we use this. Yarn deploy lambda, and we try again. Okay. Cool. So we should now the next test ping should successfully create the user on auth0, and then the next step will be giving them permissions. Database social connections like enterprise, passwordless. Ooh, configure passwordless connections like SMS login, email login, and others so that you can let your users log in without having to choose yet another password. That seems useful. But first, let's get it working at all, shall we? Come on, computer. Deploy already. You're just uploading 12 megs. It's not that hard. Okay. Come on. So the next step after this is adding permissions, and then after that is checking that the permissions are correct when logging in. Cool. Now, we've got that. Let's try sending a ping. Send test ping to URL. That worked. Go back into CloudWatch. Check for this one. This is the latest. Bad request. Come on. Password is required. Okay. Password is required then. So password. I'm sure there's an npm module for generating passwords, right? npm. Come on, npm. npm build amazing things. No, you do not need to know my location, npm. Generate password. Easy library for generating unique passwords. Perfect. It has just enough installs. So we go into here, cd lambdas, yarn add generate password, and then we import passgen from generate password, and here we say passgen dot, no, let's call it passwords. Passwords dot generate, we say length of, what should we say, 18, and numbers are true. Cool, so that's gonna generate a password now, which means oh, we can also exclude similar characters. That seems useful. So exclude similar characters, true. And let's not use symbols. Okay. Yarn deploy lambda. Try that again, and we're getting very, very close. I can feel it. Then again, of course, I have no idea how to actually check those permissions on on login. This is such a shit show. I totally should have just used an existing course platform, but this is more fun. Plus, it's a valid example of exploring the things that I'm teaching in the course. So that's useful, right? Let's see. Does YouTube say I'm actually? Ugh, come on. Does YouTube say I'm still online? And is anyone watching? Cool. Okay. There's people who left it open. That's very nice of you. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Now I can run send test ping to URL. Bam. And go into CloudWatch. 1507, that's us. Come on, why is it still a bad request? Cannot set username for connection without required username. Today per liner, how would exclude similar characters be enough without defining it as true? Because just it existing doesn't actually set the value. So we cannot set a username. Okay, so let's not set a username then. God damn it! Why does auth0 docs? Why do auth0 docs not tell us this in advance? So yeah, today the thing is that if we just do this, then this doesn't actually have a value because exclude similar characters is not defined in the scope. So this shorthand for defining properties in an object or a dictionary doesn't work. You have to actually say, hey, this needs to be true. Come on. Okay. One last deploy. Will this work? Will this work? This is fun though. I get to... The thing I like about having my own platform is that I think I can deliver a much better post-purchase experience once you actually are in the course. I'm a little dubious on whether all of this is going to work for buying and getting access, but then once you're in, it's going to be amazing, because that part I have pretty well researched and established with other projects of mine. But the whole authorization and purchasing part, that is new. So that's going to be fun. I'm also getting kind of chilly here, which means I should probably turn on my space heater, which I have at all times under my desk. Okay, gumroad, send test ping to URL. Now please work sending test ping. That got sent. 1510, and yes, we create the user. Okay, so we created the user, which means I should be able to go into activity, and we now have 2 users. Woo! Okay, so we have the users, and it gave us back the connection, the user ID, the provider, and whether they're social, which they're not. Cool. Okay, so that worked. We're now creating a user. Now let's make sure that when we send the ping again, we're not recreating the same user. So we need to check if the user exists first. So we're gonna say user equals upsert user from our ping, right? So we're going to say async upsert user from purchase data, which is a gumroad ping. No, gumroad ping. Okay, async function upsert user. So we have this. And we have, oh, and we need to get auth0 as well. Yeah, let's do this. So const auth0 await get auth0 client, purchase data dot email, purchase data dot full name. And here we're going to say const user, let user equal auth0 dot get user, which is what? What do we pass into the get user? Auth0 get client grants? No. API docs. This API docs. This API docs. So here somewhere is users. Get a user. How do we get a user? From ID. How do we get a user using a... I want to get users by email. Search users by email. So we have users by email. User successfully fetched, invalid request URL. So let's see. user is users by email, and we need to provide the purchase data.email like that. Const users, and then if users dot this is not the email is stored based on the rules blah. When using this endpoint, make sure that you are searching for users via email addresses using the correct case. Okay. Include fields, whether specified fields are to be included, email fields. Okay, so we retrieve all fields. Get curl command. Let's try Swissets at swissets.com. Get curl command. Try. Okay, there we go. Search users by email. Try. Where did the output go? Come on. Try. There we go. Response body unauthorized. Yes, of course. Okay, so that's not working, but we can then go if users.length is more than 0. Actually, should we console log the users? Because basically I'm trying to make sure that we don't create the same user twice. What does this return? Promise user. So get users by email returns an array of users, and each user has stuff. Cool. Okay. So const users, and we say if users dot length is more than 0. No. Okay, we await that. Then we get users dot length. If that is more than 0, then we return users 0. Otherwise, we return auth0 create user, right? Okay, so we've got that. So we can now say const user equals await upsert user. Cool, so we've got the user now. Now the next step is going to be adding permissions to the user. Assign permissions to a user. And we can assign permissions to a user. Is that just something we can make up? Let's see. User dot. Aha. Okay, here's how we go. Await. Now we need auth0 here again. So we're gonna say await get auth0 client. This should be memoized. Memoize this. Right now it's not memoized yet, which means we're going to keep regenerating new auth0 clients and tokens, which is a bit wasteful and slow, but not a big problem. So we say await auth0, assign permissions to user. We get just params. So as our params, we then have ID is user.id, user ID, and body can be what? Unlink, delete a user's, remove permissions from a user, get a user's permissions. I don't know what these permissions are supposed to be. Let's see, assign permissions to a user. Come on. No, this is definitely not being happy. Okay, assign permissions to a user. So we have params and data. So for params, we get object with ID. So we just pass in a ID user.user ID like that. And then for the next one, we pass in the permissions data. And what does the permissions data look like? So this is one of the nice things of using what's it called? Of using TypeScript is that you can explore APIs this way. So permission data is an array of permissions. Resource server identifier. What is a permission date name? What? Okay, let's see if there's an article for auth0 permissions. Auth0 permissions. Oh, and we can also go here in my, no, not in activity. Look at me and see what kind of permissions I have. Maybe the UI is going to give us ideas. List of permissions this user has. Assign permissions. Select permissions from existing API. No. Roles. Oh, maybe roles will be easier. So if we give them roles, and the role means student, yes, that's gonna make more sense. Select roles. So users and roles. Let's see. Let's create a role for. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot easier. We're gonna create roles, and those roles are going to be what gives them access or not, right? Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be better. So auth0. Add no. Let's see. Roles, users, delete a user, get a user's roles, assign roles to a user. So we have auth0 assign roles to user, which again accepts ID as user.user ID, and then roles data, which is no. Okay, roles to user, object with ID string, and roles data, which looks just like an array of roles. Okay. Does it? Yeah. So we say roles, and then that's a string. Now, why is this complaining? Does user ID not have user does not have an ID directly, right? No. Let's say that this is definitely defined. If user is not defined, actually, if no user is defined, then if user is defined, then we do this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to just blah. So user ID, does that make it happier? No. Okay, we're gonna say that user ID is definitely defined. And then for our roles, we are going to define a student role. Let's see, where roles, create role called student. Students have access to all materials. That makes sense, right? Create. Bam. Permissions. Student users permissions at permission. Okay, I don't know how the permissions API works, but let's assign now the role of student here. Yarn deploy lambda, and now let's see if when we run the test ping, it adds a student role to our test user that the Gumroad API uses as their tester guy. Okay. Primarily around handling different courses instead of hard coding. Okay, come on. Come on, computer. Deploy. So if this part works, then we go back, then we go into the front end part and look at roles and those kinds of things. I'm also not sure how we're going to show people what their temporary password is. I should probably just get it to work with a passwordless login. That would be cool. I do like the idea of passwordless. But let's get this working first. Pa-pa-da-pam, pa-pa-da-pam. Okay, come on, computer, you got this. And it's almost 2 hours already, god damn it. Time flies when you're dealing with a bunch of weird things. Okay, now let's see if that works. Serverless, new, this one. Send test ping to URL. Okay, it sent it. Go into my gumroad ping lambda 1525. That's this one. It shouldn't really have. God damn it. Schema violation. Roles student. What? Okay. What is wrong now with... It says that we are roles, which is supposed to be an array of strings. Auth 0 schema violation. Data roles student for status code bad request, schema violation. Okay, but how? What is the schema supposed to look like? That's my question. Auth 0 schema violation roles assign roles. Okay, community auth 0. Come on, computer. Yes, yes, yes. You need to use the role ID, not the role name when using this API. You can get the role ID for a role by fetching the... Oh my god. Are you fucking shitting me? I need to use the role ID. For fuck's sake. Okay, let's just get this role ID. Hard-coded from auth 0 URL. Okay, yarn deploy lambda. Let's try this again. Hard-coded student role ID from auth 0 URL. Now, obviously, this is where, you know, if I were to productize this and if I wanted to open up the course platform to others to use, all of this hard coding would have to go away. But considering it only needs to work for me right now, all of this is fine. Except for, you know, the part where it's literally adding users to Auth0 for every single product that anyone buys from me on Gumroad. Come on. Okay. Come on, computer. You got this. And obviously, one other thing I'm gonna have to do is make sure that this only happens for specific products, not for all products. Okay, that deployed. I can now go into Gumroad, send test ping to the URL. Bam. 1529, that's us. Yes, okay, so that means it worked, I think. So if we now go into roles and look at users, bam, Benedetti, whoever that is, now has the student role, so that works. Get status, good, add dot, git commit -a-m, create student on Auth0 when purchasing. Cool, git push origin master. Oh, another good one. I should probably make sure that the Gumroad ping is coming from well, there's a bunch of security issues right now. I'm not gonna go into them because then you guys can mess around with me. Okay, so we've got that. Now the next step is going back here to the front end part, and going into the front end we have a login page, index, Auth0 callback, header JS, index JS, layout JS, this one. So here we gotta make sure that you have so let's see, allow on auth is authenticated. So here we have only if you are is authenticated do we show you the content. But let's also look at the user data we get back so that we can see what roles you have. Console log user. Okay. And we go into localhost 8000. Serverless React Dev. Come on, localhost 8000. Now let's see if Auth0 gives us permissions here, or whatever. Login. We need to make sure that we get roles for a user so that we can check that they are a student. Serverless React course, log in. Bam, bada, bam, 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 bam. Something weird died. Cannot read property children of null. What? Cannot read property path name of undefined. Path name of undefined. Okay, path name, props location, path name, current location. Auth0 callback. Let's just not even render the layout on the callback page because it really doesn't need one. Come on. Okay, let's kill all of this. Come on, computer. Computer, stop. Yarn start. We don't need the layout for auth 0 callback. That's just for running the authentication stuff. Localhost 8000. What?
I'm going out to take a burn.
Where are you going?
I'm going to meet Kamal and his friends.
How dare?
Well, you're leaving me tonight.
Okay. No, just bring him up.
Are you actually going to hold him?
No. Okay. Is this building? Come on, computer. Work faster.
Hey, to this stage.
Okay. Computer, why are you slow? Come on, computer. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this just died, so let's try again. Come on, Gatsby, develop. Come on, I just want to get this last part done. Just need to check the roles on authentication in the front end, and then we're done. And everything works. And I can confidently launch my new course with my new course platform, which was probably a dumb idea, but it is what it is now. I think it was actually a great idea. It's just a pain in the ass to get working. Come on, source and transform the nodes. Am I still streaming? I'm still streaming. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go get the bird because he is being very loud. I'll be right back. Is this running? Source and transform nodes. Nope. Come on, computer. The problem is that until that runs, I'm stuck. I can't test things. Yeah, see, it's not even getting any CPU because all of it is being eaten by OBS. Come on. Okay. You know what, guys? I'm gonna stop streaming because this is just pointless. Like, this isn't working. Okay, so it's been 2 hours. I'm pretty sure we got it done. I just can't actually test it because of the because my computer just keeps getting stuck. So thanks everyone for watching. I will wrap this up on my own, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll wrap up on my own and hope